dancing on them the whole wave, teaching them the new slang or whatever. So they like, yo, if you say a certain word and your shorty don't respond with a certain word, then that ain't just shorty. Like to me, that I thought that was fire. Um, but yeah, that joint was hard body. And then they tested Kai Sanaa Shorty, and she was on point. Like he hit her with the wolf wolf wolf, and she replied like the woman version to reply to that, and like
Hmm.
the whole room went crazy. It was fire though. It was fire. All right, let's start this off. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I believe this is episode 154. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined by my co-host, my brother from another mother. Blood couldn't make us any closer. One of the best photographers in the world. My brother, Santana. Say something to the people.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been anywhere, but y'all here with us tonight. And for that, we thank you. As always, we got a jam-packed show for y'all. So we're gonna tap in, you know what I'm saying?
You already know, y'all. Again, we on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We a little over 11,000 subscribers. So continue to like, subscribe, share, leave comments. Continue to help us engage and build within the podcast on this channel. Your support is everything, and we thank you each and every episode. And we have over 350 something rewatches of videos of this podcast on this channel. So make sure y'all tap in. Again, share the videos, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know, we love the love. We built off love. So again, thank y'all for that. Also, this episode is brought to you sponsorship by Blunt and Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. That's button hyphenated sign snaps.com. So make sure y'all go right now. I want to shout out a couple people that's already in the chat. Some of our day one, some of our badge holders. Remember, y'all hit them 100s, hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them 100s. But shout out to Ebony in the building. Shout out to Treatment in the building. Shout out to Winter in the building. Shout out to King P in the building. Shout out to Culture in the building. Some of these people are badge holders, some of our day ones. And again, we thank y'all for tuning and tapping in each and every Thursday and Sunday at 10:30. All right, y'all, let's get this thing started. First segment of the night, popular opinions. This segment is brought to you by OUV Records, where you get, I'm sorry, where the label model is create, document, and inspire. Go to Instagram right now at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. All right, y'all. First question of the night. Again, popular opinions. And I have to reiterate this every single show. These are the world's questions. These are not our questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. All right, y'all, let's get it started. All right, first question of the night. Who's winning the game in basketball of 21? Who's winning the game of 21 in basketball? Who's winning the game of 21 in basketball? And this is right now. This is not all time. This is right now. Number one, Paul George. Number two, John Morant. Number three, James Harden. Number four, Anthony Edwards. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. See, if they would have said all time, I'm gonna let you. I let you go first, bro. I'm gonna let you go first because all time, my answer would be different for who would be right now.
I might have to go with Anthony Edwards. I feel
Why
like
Anthony Edwards?
game 21, I feel like he has a little bit of a more competitive edge
Mm-hmm.
to win that game of 20, especially against all the people on the court you playing against. But I'm gonna give it to Anthony Edwards.
I giving it to Ant Man. Pause. If they would have said all time, I would have picked Paul George all time. Like, I don't. For me, it's close, but it's not close because offense and defense. You know, 21, just poor George all day. He can make shots. But we're talking about right now. Right now, I would say John Morant because of his ability to shake and maneuver. They can't guard him, but that outside jumper is still a little lacking. So I'm gonna agree with you, bro. I'm going with Ant-Man because Ant-Man can shake and bake you. He can bring you physical pause, or he can hit that jump shot in your face, whether it's mid-range, whether it's a three-point shot. He's basically unguardable, in my opinion, and he's going to play defense on you. He's going to be like, "What up? Like, show me what you doing, bro. Show me what you got out here." So, in a game of 21, out of Paul George, John Morant, James Harden, and Anthony Edwards, again, I'm going with uh, Anthony Edwards. My bro's going with Anthony Edwards in the chat. I'm seeing John Morant. I'm seeing Anthony Edwards. I'm seeing shout out to Vic in the building, one of our other bad told us on my backdoor activities. He's stupid. He was tripping on the whole Corey Holcomb. I seen his comments. He was tripping on the whole Corey Holcomb segment that we did before. And he kept laughing about the fact that we was laughing about the backdoor activities that he was talking about as far as like talent.
Okay. Mhm.
So, you know what I mean? But shout out to Vic in the building. So yeah, again, the chat went with John Morant, Anthony Edwards. I went with Anthony Edwards. My bro went with Anthony Edwards. The rest of the world at 44% went with, and again, this is right now. This is not all time. They went with James Harden. What do you think about that?
Right now, James Harden. Okay. That's intriguing. I'd like to see it, you know what I'm saying? But say that's the world's opinion. That's what's up though.
And I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. James Harden is cooking right now. He's cooking on Clippers right now. Like it's looking real different because Kawhi's healthy, and Kawhi anytime like when Kawhi is healthy, this is why they call him the worst superstar ever because he's hurt a lot of times. But when he's healthy though, it get real scary hours with Kawhi healthy. So now you got Kawhi healthy. He the main focus, and now you just got James Harden just out there. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo,
Mhm.
oh, I'm just gonna cookie. Like, yo, this is the green light, baby. We got, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got we got Kawhi Leonard back. So I'm just gonna cook over here on the corner. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to James Harden. They said 44%, man. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next popular opinion question. And again, y'all, these are not our questions. These are the world's questions. Stick to the answers in the questions. All right, y'all. Which group was more influential to the culture? It should have been most. Which group was more influential to the culture? Number one, Wu Tang. Number two, Outkast. Number three, uh, NWA. Number four, 3 6 Mafia. Again, y'all, the question was which group was more influential? Number one, Wu Tang. Number two, Outkast. Number three, NWA. Number four, 3 6 Mafia. Let me know what y'all think in the chat. And hit them likes while y'all at it. Hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them likes and 100s, y'all.
I'm gonna have to go with Wu Tang because I feel their reach, and when they drop albums and they merchandise, and then just the iconic logo within itself is just, you know what I'm saying, and then what they always 36 chambers and using old kung fu metaphors in their lyrics and bars and skits and all that. So it just brought another genre of people.
Bro, I ain't never hear a beat start off with "Cut, cut, cut," and the joint be fire. You know what I'm saying?
Of yeah, you can hear me.
Yeah, now I can hear you. You froze.
Saying that, yeah, I'm going with Wu Tang.
Okay, okay. I was saying that I never heard a beat start off with "Cut, cut, cut, cut," and the just be fire. You know what I'm saying? Because the RZA then chef that all up in the beat. You know, using the kung fu karate flicks within the beats. You know what I'm saying? The bong, like the sound of the gong or whatever. So
Facts.
me personally, I agree with you. I'm going with Wu Tang as well. That sign, that logo is forever. No matter if you have, I don't want to say most. I don't think most people that know the Wu-Tang could say they listen to every single album they ever dropped. But they know that song. They know that song like they know Coca-Cola. Brand name recognition. You understand? I don't care if you call it pink dog shit. Don't let me catch you using my goddamn Wu-Tang logo. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's infringement. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang for me, their music was when they came out, they was a much older group, and the stuff that they was talking about was way over my head. I was a little kid, so and they were talking about having self love and pride of oneself, and these are things that, and then the way they was talking about it, it wasn't like straightforward. It had a lot of metaphors speaking to the adults, but the music was just, it was just so, what's the best word I can say it? It was just so potent, pause, that it still affected me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Heard Ice Cream and loving the way that sound and just the beats and the way they rapped, and it was they was deep. So pause. I'm gonna say for me, Wu Tang as well. Outkast, they did their thing as well. NWA did their thing in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of NWA. I think NWA musically was amazing, but I think their stuff start and stop at music. You have made something very clear when you said Wu Tang. They was able to do music, movies, clothing lines, late like just things outside of music that they did production that they ran
Mm-hmm.
corporate type of stuff, TV shows. You remember you start seeing them heavily within the TV shows with the Chappelle show. Like they was just so well rounded and well versed. They got into the kung fu world. They got into the animation world. Like they was just so engulfed in so many different things. And me personally, I'm going with the Wu Tang. All of these groups, there's no wrong answer. To be honest with y'all, there's no wrong answer, right? But again, it's all opinion based. For me, it was definitely Wu Tang. My favorite Wu Tang member is Raekwon. So, but yeah, man. So shout out to the Wu. I'm going with the Wu. My brother went with the Wu. In the chat, I see NWA mixed with a little of the Wu. Pause. The rest of the world at 64%. Wow. Went with NWA. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I guess you see, you know what I'm saying? They originators, they came out first, and I mean, it makes sense. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to No Stranger Danger. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Hit that like button, hit them 100s in the chat. We appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all, moving on to our next popular opinion question. What what was the most interesting thing Forrest Gump did? What was the most interesting thing Forrest Gump did? Number one, catch the package. Wow. Number two, fight in the Vietnam War. Number three, shares in Apple. Number four, go All American at Alabama. Let me know what y'all think in the chat.
What was the first option?
The first option was catch the package. Number two, fight in the Vietnam War. Number three, shares in Apple. Number four, go All American at Alabama. Yeah,
Hmm.
because old Forrest was up at the president at the White House like three, four, five times, bro. Like
No, I'm gonna have to say fighting in the war, because you say mad at his mans in that platoon, you know what I'm saying? Went
Mhm.
back and forth and got niggas, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have to say when he was fighting in the war, son.
I got shot in the butt talks. You know what I'm saying? Like just all the
And then after getting the last man on the platoon, you know what I'm saying? Not the first man, the last man. So you know he put in that work, son.
yeah,
Yo,
facts. He said he's outran so fast. I start seeing people around me. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
I didn't know what to do, so I just ran back. Just scoop one person. Just scoop. So Forrest had the most interesting man ever in the world. Um, catch the package is wild, crazy that they put that on here. For those who don't understand what catch the package mean, it mean that old Jenny done spread them. to spread that bad news to Old Forest. You know what I'm saying? Because Jenny just like she was just the type of gal that was just out here just busting it wide open and just you know what I'm saying, have Forest kid and then give that man a package. You know what I'm saying? So pause. But me personally, I'm gonna say go All American at Alabama playing for Bear Bryant. Like how you go from running away from bullies to running touchdowns, going All American in high school, then going All American at Alabama, just on a whim, and then they gotta create signs for you to stop running, G. Like just get him the ball. And at the end of the end zone, they gotta have stop, Forrest. So for me personally, I'm gonna go with All American at Alabama. That's the most interesting thing. And because Alabama is so relevant today in 2025, do you know how hard it is, pause, to start for Alabama, then let alone go All American at Alabama? That's crazy. So I'm going with go All American at Alabama. My bro said fight for the Vietnam War. In the chat, they going with the clap. They saying the package. They saying the package, you know what I'm saying? That's the most interesting thing. At 34%, the rest of the world went with shares in Apple. What do you think about that?
What's the shares at Apple again? What scene was that?
When he said that he invested into a fruit.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Then to get to Apple. Okay, yeah. That was kind of ill because it was like mad left field. You know what I'm saying? He's like, all right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And mind you, this was 90s, like mid 90s. So now when people hear Apple in 2025, it's super global. So yeah. So I thought that I could see why people would say that because of the magnitude what Apple is at this moment. So I could see that. Forrest was that uh like a box of chocolates or good ones or brown. That's you stupid. He was ahead of his time. That's a fact, man. Yo, Forrest was at the White House like every other day with his lifestyle. Like my boy run like he said he just started running and just couldn't stop running. You know what I'm saying? And he just ran cross country just to run, B. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Bid going down to he got the James Harden bid like 5 times going crazy, just running, just because he just felt like running. And he owns a whole Bubba Shrimp. Like you know what I'm saying? Yo, that dude is just wild interesting, yo. I love that movie, by the way. Shout out to Tom Hanks, yo. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, Hollywood Need to Ask Us. We came up with this segment because Hollywood is not giving us interesting, great movies that we didn't ask for. I know some people going to say, but what about Sinners? I'm not talking about Sinners. Sinners is an exception to the rule. So again, majority Hollywood is giving us terrible movies, and that's why Sinners is such a hit because these movies are great. Shout out to Piers in the building. Shout out to Piers. We appreciate you tapping in. I got something special for you, Piers. Shout out to you. We want to hook you up with some tickets to the block party, my brother. Hold on. Let me get you straight real quick. Hey, 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 Piers, you hear the words? Hey, hey. Woo. Pierce, man, we hooked you up with some tickets to the block party. We appreciate you, but you got to go get them tickets, my brother. See ya. On to the yo, shout out to Pierce, yo. He made my night, man. I had that song specially made for people that are spammers like that, and appreciate you for doing that, man. That makes my night when I get at least one who want to get a part of that bar
Gotta get
that
at least one.
you know what I'm saying? So, bro, bug it out with the spam. You feel me? You feel me? Just tripping, man. If you're here to support, wonderful. If you got fire, great jokes, beautiful. If you here to listen and add to the conversation, engage, even better, man. But don't be here for the trolling, for the spamming. We not on the bots. Nah, we don't build off that. We build off real people, real love, real conversation. So again, appreciate you, Piers, for tapping in. I needed that because I had that song specially made and it was gonna get played for somebody. So shout out to Piers for doing it. All right, y'all. Moving on again to Hollywood Need to Ask Us. You want to start this one off?
Now you can start it off.
All right, so Hollywood Need to Ask Us. I want to see a movie on the great musical duo. Some of y'all may have not heard of this duo before because they came out in the 80s, but their legacy is so crazy that we still sample their music still to this day. What's that? Damn near 50 years later, 40 years later, I should say. Still sampling their music. I want to see a biopic, 3 hours long, of Renee and Angela, super duo. For those who don't know who that is, if you look it up, you see who I'm talking about. If you listen to their catalog, you're gonna hear at least 10 songs that people still sample till still to this day. You're gonna be like, yo, I heard this song from this artist, that artist, this artist, that artist. That's how lit Angela and Renee was. Fire, I'm sorry, Renee and Angela was. And this was a male and female duo and they was fire. They had fire music. So me personally, I want to see the biopic on how they end up getting together musically. They both had great voices. The type of music that they made was that R&B, that feel good, and because one is a man and one is a woman, they gave us everything within the R&B, whether it was that smooth R&B, whether it's that party R&B, whether it's that relationship R&B. They was just chef's kiss. So shout out to Renee and Angela. I want to see a biopic based on their story in and out the music. So that's what I want to see a movie about.
For my car enthusiastic people out there, I want to see a remake and a more modernized version of this Cannonball Run. So the Cannonball Run is a race from. It actually starts in New York in this garage called Red Ball Garage in New York City, and it runs all the way through Redondo Beach, California. So that's about
Mhm.
2,906 miles. So that race, the fastest time right now, as of October 21st, 2021, is 25 hours and 39 minutes. So I want to see a Cannonball Run movie based upon the team that was able to achieve this feat. I think that's pretty awesome. Racing your car from one point to the other nonstop, you know what I'm saying? Dodging the cops, you know what I'm saying? And just going on one run, just making it through. So I would love to see a movie like that. So I'm saying the real Fast and the Furious type wave. So
Mhm.
I would love to see something like that. They had the movie before in the 80s, so this would be a more modernized retake of this same run, same race.
Mhm. You gonna put vampires in it?
As long as they come from Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying? They
Not from
different in Brooklyn, you know what I'm saying?
not from Queens though.
Nah, we don't got vampires in Queens. You know what I'm saying? They in Brooklyn.
Oh man, no danger to stranger. Pause. He said pause. Oh, he talking about bump two. I'm beating. Okay, yeah. Come on, uh, yo, bump man. If you here to show love. But this is not that type of show, bro. Don't do that here, man. Please, please, please. We just hooked some people up with some tickets. You're gonna be the next contestant for these tickets, bro. Please, please, please. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. Hey man, hold. We gotta hook bump up. We gotta hook bump up with some tickets, man. We gotta hook you up with some tickets, my brother. Hold on 1 second. We got you. We got you. We gonna hook you up.
Now
Hey,
we got double. My second one on the page.
hey, 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 hey. You hear that bump? Bump, we want to hook you up with some block party tickets. We thank you for coming out, but you got to go, my brother. We don't do that here, you weirdo. Just a weirdo. Hey, another one bites the dust.
Mm.
But oh, going back to the Angela Renee, brother asks what era was that? That was back in the 80s, early 90s. They was in that era. They was in that era. Renee and Angela, they was in that era. Poppin' group, poppin' group. Shout out to Marco in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. All right, y'all. Moving on. Uh, Moving on to our next segment, our must see segment, must see movies, must hear music, and must read books. Man, we're gonna hook y'all up with some book. We're gonna put on pick brothers picking up a book and read. So be ready to tap into the books. You wanna start this one off? Must see
You
movies?
could start it off.
All right, so my three must see movies for this episode on Sunday came out in 2001. My first movie, directed by Tim Blake Nelson, stars Julia Stiles, Josh Hornet, Mekhi Phifer, Eric Gritty, and Andrew Keegan. This movie is called Oh. People, if you've never seen this movie is so legendary, and I think it gets lost in the sauce based on how it ended. Because it's such a cautionary tale. It's about a young phenom basketball player, and he really has the world by the balls. Pause. I couldn't find a better word at that particular time, but pause again. But he has the world at it on his feet, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you. It's a fire movie. Fire movie. Make sure y'all tap in to see the movie Oh. Second must see movie came out in 1991, directed by Franco Ridman. This movie stars Michael Bland, Matt Craven, Ellen Wall, Julia Nickerson, and Annie Gridley. This movie is called K2. This movie is fire about mountain climbers all up in the Alps. You know what I'm saying? Looking for the dangerous, mountain to climb. And there's a rich guy and he saw the rest of the movie. You gotta watch it. I won't ruin it for you. So make sure y'all tap into that action-packed K2 fire movie. Third and final must-see movie came out in 1999, directed by James Deradan. This movie stars Erwin McGregor, Annie Freak, Tom McInley, Nigel Lindsay, Caroline Longshire. This movie is called Rogue Trader. This movie is about a guy who's on that works for the stock market, works on the open trade, and he gets conflicting decisions to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for y'all, so make sure y'all tap in to see Rogue Trader. Again, my three must-see movies is O, K2, and Rogue Trader. Thank me later. Guaranteed fire movies to watch.
Definitely top tier movies right there. Uh, Chad, you know how I do. I always have a theme for my movies. This week is no different. Last week I did Marvel character as the Punisher. This week is another Marvel character, and we're going with Captain America. So the first movie on this list is actually the name Captain America. It came out in 1990. Classic one. It stars Matt Salinger, Ned Beatty, Scott Paulin, Darren McGaughan, Ronnie Cox, pause, Kim Gillingham, Francesca Nera, Melinda Dillon, Raphael Berlini, and Michael Norin. So, of course, this Captain America version is the origin story of Captain America. And again, it's 1990, so it's got that classic 1990 vibe. It never got that good play because, I mean, it was seemed like a made for TV movie, but it's definitely fire. You got to go check this one out. It's very Stars Chris Evans, Haley Atwell, Sebastian Stain, Joe Johnston, Hugo Weaving, Samuel L. Jackson, Tommy Lee Jones, Kenneth Choi, Stanley Tucci, Dominic Cooper, Neil McDowell, and Jenna Coleman. So, of course, it's the origin story of Captain America, just a modernized version of it. Excuse me. And top tier Captain America Marvel movie. So you won't be disappointed if you haven't seen it. If you have, definitely check it out again, just as refresher, because it's damn near 12 years now. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
last and final one on the list is my favorite is the Captain America Winter Soldier, which is now 11 years old. Came out in 2014. This time flies.
Yeah,
Again,
fact.
again stars Sebastian Stain, Anthony Mackie, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Emily Van Lamp, Samuel Jackson, Joe Russo, Frank Grillo, Christopher Marcus, Robert Redford, and Haley Atwell. Again, Captain America, just continuation of his story. Definitely tap into these movies, which were the Captain America movies. The first one, Captain America. Next one, Captain America First Avenger. Last one, Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that's fire. Yo, quick shout out to James Lee in the building. Shout out to Leaf in the building. That's my family right there. Appreciate you tapping in as always, my brother. Um, yo, a quick shout out to Stanley Tucci. You mentioned him in the Captain America the original movie. Low key, he a legend on the low ski. He did a lot of movies. I remember meeting him. I had a background scene, a couple background scenes in this movie called Made in Manhattan when I was like 17 years old, and I seen him in movies prior, and he has such a presence on camera. I'm thinking he's some tall, like just tall dude that's kind of like imposing. Bro, he was like 5'2", like this little man out here. You know what I'm saying? But his acting ability would make you think otherwise. His prowess, you know what I'm saying? How he get down, how he get down. So shout out to Stanley Tucci. He's low key like a legend. He's in a lot of movies, and he always did a great job in all the movies that he was in. So shout out to him, man. All right, y'all. Moving on. Must hear music. I'm gonna give y'all an artist that you must put at least 3 songs on your playlist. You must put these songs on your playlist. Y'all know me. I'm gonna give y'all either real rap for my real rap fans, or I'm gonna give y'all that feel good R&B. Different vibrations. I embrace new, old artists, whether they sing, whether they rap. I embrace it all. Whether it's reggae, dancehall, soca, rap, hip hop, pop, I embrace it all. That's fire music. This music in particular is R&B. This music in particular is 80s style R&B. I just spoke about the Renee and Angela. I was not going to let y'all leave without hearing this work that they did, and you got to put these 3 songs from Renee and Angela on your playlist. Again, their story is legendary. Their songs is still living to still to this day because other artists sample their music so heavy. Number one, I'll Be Good. Number two, I Love You More. Number three, Imaginary Playmates. Again, put these 3 songs on your playlist. Again, by Renee and Angela. Number one, I'll Be Good. Number two, I Love You More. Number three, Imaginary Playmates. Again, put those songs on your playlist. All right, moving on to must read books. Oh, you got a book for us, bro?
No, I do not have a book for y'all tonight.
All right, so that's all good. So I got a must read book. It's called Building Business Credit. Building Business Credit by Gerald Lacey. It's a great book to read. A lot of people don't know how to build their credit. They think that, oh, because I paid things off, oh, I ain't never really bought nothing, uh, but because I got new credit, I got a 700 score. No, credit don't work like that. Credit works in debt, and this book is great on explaining how to build business credit, not personal credit, but business credit. So make sure y'all tap into this book. Again, it's by Joe Lacey. Educate yourself so that way you could do better. Learn how to use credit as a salary. Listen to what I said, y'all. This is stuff that I had to learn. Learn how to use credit as a salary. So you learn how to live off your credit, because when you have a credit, when you have debt, they award debt. That way you can save your cash. I love y'all enough to give y'all this game. So again, get at this book. It's called Building Business Credit, and it's by Gerald Lacey. You got cologne for us?
Definitely got cologne for y'all. Y'all look good. Y'all feel good. Y'all smell good. Y'all gonna do good. So this cologne this week is 2787. Fragrance is called Mosaic. Definitely tap into it. Next name is 2787. Again, the fragrance is called Mosaic.
Make sure y'all tap in, get that smell good. The whole goal is to get to smell good, to feel good, and get good. Had the shorty all under the tuck. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole purpose, y'all. So we giving y'all that smell good. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get the finest of movies, shows, documentary, and original content for your viewing pleasure of $4.99. Again, that's Button Snaps. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. Button hyphenated sign snaps.com. So make sure you go there right now. All right, y'all. Well, after the show. All right, y'all. First hot topic of the night. NFL draft had doubled in viewership this year with 12.5 million viewers throughout the draft, and it doubled the year prior when it only had 5.9 compared to the year prior to. Um, Many believe that a lot of the double views had to do with the polarizing player, quarterback Shador Sanders, and the fact that he didn't go the first round like how I predicted, and many other experts predicted. Some had him in the second round, but he dropped all the way to the fifth round. What do you think in the pickup in viewership?
I think as a marketing ploy, I think that was very genius to allow him to fall that far down in the rounds just so viewership can go up.
Mhm.
Now they can now fuel the fire and like use all types of this, that, and the third to get the he just wanted to know why he dropped so far. So I think as a marketing play, that was a very good game to be used. And I'm pretty sure they cut checks on the back end, you know what I'm saying? And then now it's time to get to work because you know what I'm saying, you're on the Browns and now it's gonna be like some new story that you know what I'm saying, like they could build around and get the viewership even higher when the season starts. So they could really milk this all the way into training camp.
Mhm. Now the whole thing with him going down to the fifth round was it was a whole lot going on. That wasn't about his skills. That was strictly personal. And it's crazy with this in particular. People that watch football, like really watch football, not casual fans, they know that wasn't about talent. Some people that do watch football who max themselves as football people, they're saying that it's about about certain things that he don't do well, right? And why he fell. And which is big BS because they say he doesn't have the strong arm. He does have a strong arm. Pause. How, there's not many NFL guys that has raw Patrick Mahomes arm, but they're still successful. Joe Burrow has a great arm, but he doesn't have a Patrick Mahomes arm and strength because guess what? Every play you're not throwing 80 yards, but he has enough strength to throw anywhere on the field. And Shador's 4.2, 4.3, meaning like you know how receivers and DBs when they run a 4.2, it's like whoa. Shador's 4.2 as a quarterback is that he's pinpoint accurate with the ball. The fact that he reads defenses like a book, that's his 4.2. So you got somebody that did that better than anybody else in college. He had the highest performance grade in college football, I'm looking at it right now. Person with the highest performance grade at quarterback, 2025, he had 87. The second person next to him was Cam Ward at 85. Third was Jackson Dart at 80. Dylan Gabriel at 78. They drafted Dylan Gabriel before Shador Sanders. He had a 78 performance grade, but Shador got an 87. So obviously, this had nothing to do with skill, but he fell into a decent situation, and because of his mindset, his upbringing, he's striving for greatness. He's Deion Sanders' son, so the fact that he's Deion Sanders' son, he's going to push himself to be the best that he can be. So at the end of the day, the NFL was able to benefit off of this kid's, the fact that he dropped from the first round to the fifth round. A lot of people say, well, Cam Ward is better. How? What makes him better? Have y'all seen him play at Incarnate Ward? Have you seen him play at Washington State? He looked better on Washington State than he did on Miami. Cam Ward is a really good player. I don't want to denigrate him to boost up Shador Sanders. I'm saying why I feel like he's better. But Cam Ward is good. He's a good player. But he's going to Tennessee. He's going to Tennessee. Tennessee does not have a history of supporting their quarterbacks. The quarterbacks that end up going there just happens to try to make it out the mud. Now, if there was Houston, Tennessee, then that's a completely different franchise. Because if you're talking about Houston or the Houston Oilers, then you're talking about Warren Moon, you're talking about Steve McNair, and then they went to the Tennessee Titans. So that's a completely different offset in itself. But when you talk about Jake Locker, most people don't even remember Jake Locker. Jake Locker was the first pick to Tennessee and quit the first 2 years of his NFL career, and he was a quarterback, number 1 overall from Washington with the golden arm. Quit 6'3", 235. Y'all can go up and look it up. They don't have a great history in picking quarterbacks. I want Cam Ward to win because he's a melanated brother, and I want to see him do well. But people are saying that he's better than Shador, and that's going to be left to see in the NFL. But as far as college, Shador got him. He got him. He got him. So at the end of the day, as far as the viewership, it helped the NFL. People was locked in, and I never seen people as a community, us as a community, really like I'm missing the word right now, but just like really want to see this young man show up and show out with the Browns. And the Browns is a storied trash ass franchise. So we want to see the brother do well. Shout out to who was that? Shout out to Silence that Streeter, free game watcher. What about D balls throw holding on to the ball completion? See, this lets me know that you're a casual. I actually played college football way before I got into music. I grew up in football. I grew up in boxing. I grew up in basketball. So you sound like a casual. When it come to deep throws, he was throwing deep balls to all his receivers all season long. What are we talking about? Cam Ward digressed because he went to Miami. And the reason why he digressed because Miami offensive line was next level. So when you seen Cam Ward dropping back to pass, his progressions was different because he was standing in the pocket. He wasn't doing the normal quarterback steps to see somebody open, doing his steps to be ready. That's why a lot of his passes was off. What are we talking about? His percentage. We just gave you the percentage grade. What are we talking about? Casual. Casual. I don't have football conversations with casuals. So when you make a conversation like that, you're gonna get that, and I'm gonna send you on your way. Thank you for tapping in. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, the 100. All right, y'all. Moving on to before I go on, so he ended up going in the fifth round. His brother Shiloh Sanders, jokey. He's a guest host, co-host, and he was saying that Shiloh was gonna go in the first round, and I was like, nah, Shiloh's a good player, but he's not gonna go in the first round because they don't value what he does in the first round. But he gonna be like low key 6th or 7th round, depending on his 40 time. He ended up running a good 40, but he still went undrafted. But he is signed to a team. So his brother Shiloh Sanders, who does play defensive back, and I think they're going to move him to corner based on Tampa 2 style system. Um, I think they're gonna move him to corner, so they signed him with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What do you think about Shiloh going to Tampa Bay?
And Deion Sanders got two sons in the league. That's an accomplishment right there. So that's what's up.
Yeah, that's fire. I think he should do well because the system that they run highlights what he does. If he focused on tackling and not looking for the big hit, he's going to be fine. He has the speed, enough speed to play that position in their system. He's going to be able to he's going to be able to excel. He has great ball skills. He has great instincts. He just got to stop looking for the big hit. Every time he looks for the big hit, he gets exposed in the tackling. So if he just tackles, he's going to be fine, man. And he's going to a team that needs him. See, most people don't realize when you get to the later part of that draft, you go into a team that just may cut you on the first or second day of practice. He's going to a team that needs defensive backs. So shout out to Shiloh. Also, Shiloh Sanders in the stream in his live stream was seen trolling his mom by playing Must Be the Money while his mom and his sister was sitting there right before that he got drafted. And while the music was playing in the song, he said, Dion said, it must be the money that keeps the ladies coming back. So when he stopped the song, he told his mom, that was you at one point in time. Do you do you think he's wrong for doing that, or like that was like a cool jab to throw at his own moms?
I think it's just fun. You know what I'm saying? Just good family jab back and forth type of stuff, and they allow the public to view that moment that they had with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think that was pretty funny. I don't think it was nothing too heavy, but I ain't gonna hold you. When he dropped the music, Moms looked like she wanted to bust a two step. Like it took her back for a second, but she realized like, nah, I still got to show that I ain't gonna really like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna really give the pops too much love. Like even though he got both my sons in the league, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna bop the two step to the song. So um,
Facts.
so I thought that was interesting. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. NBA playoffs is heating up. Celtics beat the Magics. So they up 3-1. Knicks beat Pistons. They up 3-1. They came back at the end. And Timberwolves beat the Lakers. They're up 3-1 as well. What do you think of these particular series so far?
Playoffs is always the best basketball, so that's the most intense. That's when everybody's locking in and you're just really seeing top tier talent. So it's always good to watch it. Watch the playoffs.
Okay. Any of these series grab you like interest wise more than the other? We talking about Celtics, Magic, Knicks, Pistons, Timberwolves, Lakers.
I'm a Knicks person, so anytime the Knicks is in, that's what I'm rooting for. When they out, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Mhm.
what I go for.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean my Nets is not in. You know what I'm saying? So it. I ain't gonna hold you. Like I wanna root for the Knicks, but what make it so hard for me to root for the Knicks is the Knicks fan base, yo. Like I just wanna like, yo, yeah, you know what I'm saying? New York City, But if they win a championship, bro, the New York Knicks fan base gonna act like this is what we do every year, or this is what they do every year. Like, yo, we do this every year, baby. New York Knicks forever. It's like, yo, bro, y'all have like y'all gotta chill. You know what I'm saying? Y'all this gotta be cool, like how y'all be cool. You know what I'm saying? The average Knicks fan go crazy. I can't even imagine if the Knicks won the championship.
As a
Like,
Knicks fan, it's the only time being a Knicks fan and being a Knicks fan, as long as I've been a Knicks fan, it's the only time you could be in delusion. You know what I'm saying? So when you live in delusion as a Knicks fan, you just go crazy. You know what I'm saying? There's been many a years
yeah,
of just epic failures, but it's always our year because we live in delusion. But when we actually do win one, oh yeah, nah, it's over. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Delusion gonna turn into reality, chill. But you know what I'm saying? That's it's gonna be a scary time, but it's gonna be the greatest time ever. You know what I'm saying? All at the same time. I'm telling you.
Yo, I will say this though. I will say this. If the New York Knicks win the championship, New York City, the crime rate will go down at least 50%.
I'm telling you. I know we're not gonna win this series because we're not beating Boston or Cavs, but we still believe, and that's why I live in my delusion. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Only when I'm wearing my Knicks, only when my Knicks fan is the only time in the history of the world where I live in delusion and it's cool and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because I got other people around me that's rocking with it. So it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only time you'll catch me in delusion is when I'm rocking for my Knicks and it's all the way 100. Other than that, I'll never be in delusion because I live in reality. But for my Knicks, best believe delusion heavy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Tanya in the building. Shout out to Ahmad Go in the building. Appreciate you tapping in, man. They going heavy in the chat. Knicks have 0% chance of winning, but
We still
respect.
believe though. You know what I'm saying? We
It
still
out.
believe. It's
They said,
okay.
yeah, he said respect for sticking it
You know
out.
what
They
I'm saying?
said,
It's my Delulu life. You know what I'm saying? Only for Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? Let me just live in that life. You know what I'm saying? That one time. The only time I'll do it.
I ain't gonna. I'm a big time Net fan. You know what I'm saying? So we had a shot. We had a shot. You know what I'm saying with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. But you know, Durant, he wears size 13, 14 shoe. And if he would have wore a size 11 and a half, we would have been on our way to the championship that year. You know what I'm saying? For beating the Bucks. We had the Bucks beat that to rights, but Kyrie got hurt. But we didn't win. So at the end of the day, if it's y'all time, do y'all thing, man. I ain't no hater, man. Do y'all thing, man. So yeah, so I think for me the most interesting series so far is Timberwolves and Lakers. Obviously the Lakers, LeBron James, Luca, they getting their ass handed to them. They can't do nothing with Ant-Man. And his supporting cast is not big name guys. These are guys who are playing off of Ant-Man. And they doing a real good job playing defense, getting easy buckets, making their open shots, creating when they need to create. And this year, basketball has been completely asked to me because the interest is very low. I don't know what it is about the new format of basketball, but the first 82 games of the season is not even must see TV, bro. Like I found myself watching an old 90s or 2000s game back to back the other day just because of it was like they was really going at it. Like I'm watching an old game between the oh my god, the Portland Trailblazers when they had Bonzi Wells, Pippen, Steve Smith, Rasheed Wallace. Like they had a squad and they going up against the Sacramento Kings and Chris Webber is wearing these motherfuckers out, bro. 35, 15, like couldn't do nothing with Webber. You know what I'm saying? You had little Bibby on the side, like yo, I'm out here, G. Like just you know what I'm saying? So, but they was going at it. They was vicious with it. They playing as the best defense that they could play. So, I don't know what it is about this new format. I love basketball, but it's just the interest been ass. But again, Timberwolves is beating the dog shit out of the Lakers. So, it's gonna be an interesting playoff moving forward. You look like you just a decade ago, Carol Chip. Shot like 31 threes a game to lead the league. Today is that last different games. No heart. It's a fact. It's a different game, man. See, I don't have a problem with guys shooting threes. The problem that I have with is that every team shoot threes. It'll be different. It'll be different if one team is known for shooting threes, like how Golden State was. But then another team is known for running and gunning and throwing alleys and dunking. Then it'll be a difference if another team was more known for rough house play. Like we out here. Go to the hole at your own risk, my G. You going up, we snuffing you. What's up? I love styles, and I think that was the interest in 90s and 2000s because we had teams that shot a lot of threes in the 2000s, right? But you had other teams that had different styles, and styles make fights. So that's what the big difference in the leads today than what it was before. Wait, this was live. Why not answer? not, and this was very live. Like you had certain teams that was very physical, and you had certain teams that was out there running and gunning. For those who don't remember, Dallas Dirk Nowitzki teams, they used to be running and gunning in them 2000s. The Phoenix Suns of the 90s is the reason why the NBA is running gun style. Because for those who don't know basketball, the Suns used to play with 4 point guards. They used to play with Kevin Johnson, Steve Nash, Jason Kidd in the same lineup. Then when they made the trade, they put Penny Hardaway in the lineup. Yes, Penny Hardaway was on that team too. So that's what created the run and gun style. And then, it morphed and more from there. So, all right, y'all, moving on to our next hot topic. A Mississippi woman says that she was kicked out of her baby father's funeral because she kissed his member while he was in the casket. What do you think about that?
Lucky she just only got kicked out, not like arrested. So it's just it's just where we at with it. Where don't feel no wrong and justified in your actions, and doing something like that is just overly egregious and just immoral on all types of levels. So
Yeah.
she's, like I said, lucky enough she didn't get arrested. So
hmm
it's just weird.
I have to be honest, man. This is so disrespectful on so many levels. I mean, not just to the person who passed, but also to the family in itself. And she said her reasoning behind it. She said, "Well, if I kissed it while he was alive, like why can't I kiss it when he's gone? This is going to be the last time she get the opportunity to." This is what her reasoning and rationale for doing that. So to have that mindset in this day and age, you would think that one era would do better than the next, but the mindset is just continuously like deteriorating or decreasing and just social behavior. And I think because of social media, some people just don't know how to act in regular surroundings of just people just out and being. And at a funeral, you think it's cool while the family is there. Just because you the baby moms, you are considered family, but damn, you think that was cool? Nah, nah. So I agree with you. She lucky she just got asked to leave and not, and wasn't arrested. Like shows no class, bro. No type of class. And what makes it even worse is one of us, bro. It's one of us.
Thanks.
What are we doing? All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. 106. Sorry, Power 105 host Charlemagne the God, was he correct for calling out Coco Jones' record label for not sending her album ahead of time before their interview to talk about her album properly? Should he have said it off camera, or was he correct for addressing it on camera during the interview?
Um, I mean, it's kind of classless because you know how the game goes. Like I feel as though like you know how it goes. Y'all could have had a conversation beforehand, but to do it on air, I don't know if there's gonna be any backlash because of that. Because you know what I'm saying, you got to answer to somebody. Um, so yeah, I mean, if it was his own podcast, then yeah, you know what I'm saying, like do how you do. But it's being run by other entities, and you got to answer and um and show face. Now, to for his credit, I guess by mentioning that he didn't have time to listen to the album was the reason why they didn't have any prepared questions or this, that, and the third. But Coco Jones did make a good point as to say, well, I can talk about my own album. You know what I'm saying? Like she did do her own album, so she could speak about it and then y'all listen to it later. So I thought that was a very good response on her end. Um, so he could have just let her speak on it and just said, "Hey, I didn't have time to listen to it. I was rushing. This, that, and the third. Well, speak on your album." You know what I'm saying? He could have been done cleanly and efficiently because you are a journalist. You could have use your words better to make that situation, being that it's on live, to make that situation just move more smoothly.
Hmm. I'm like two ways about this. Like as an artist myself, I mean, you're going to defend your label, whether it's the good, whether it's the bad. You're going to defend your label because they're your label, right? But he was not wrong for airing it out. Me personally, I don't think he was speaking on her. He's speaking on the label for not having, her having everything prepared, because as an artist, I would feel offended if I'm up on here on your platform about my album and you haven't listened to it. Like, having your questions, that's cool. But as an artist, I want you to listen to my music. And I want you to tell me what you felt when you listened to my music. I don't like, it's cool for me to tell you my album, but you have to have an understanding of it to ask. Like on song two, and what did you mean by this lyric, or what was the purpose on how the way this beat came in and the way you dropped your vocal or the way you dropped your lyric. That also matters too. So I would be pissed if I'm on here on your platform to talk about my album and y'all don't have no prepared questions for me about my album and what the feeling that my album gave to y'all. You know what I'm saying? And if my label was at fault, I don't. I would defend my label, but it's hard for me to defend my label for real at that point in time, because that's a major fallacy and a major flaw. So whoever was in charge of getting the music to the Breakfast Club, they messed it up. They make it look unprofessional, and they make her look she's not a serious artist. That's how that comes across. Now, if this an artist that, you gotta hear it and she's our flagship artist, they wouldn't have sent that album, or to them, a couple hours before the interview. Like, what are y'all doing? If they had Justin Bieber, or if they had, any of these other flagship artists that they feel is flagship, they wouldn't have sent it 2 hours prior to. So I understand the game where they said, where if I'm the artist, or because I am an artist, that I would feel the type of way if I'm on your platform and you just don't got it ready. But I can't really feel the type of way because my team done messed up. They done fumbled it. They out here making me look crazy. So now I gotta go back and like, we can't have that, because if we go into the next level with this, how can we go to the next level with this if the music is not prepared? This is coming out of my budget, coming up here on this radio station. So now when y'all do it half-ass, it still came out of my budget. So they can't really ask me the questions that they really want to ask me. So I'm gonna get it like a generic half-ass interview. So I I understand what Charlemagne did, because it's preparing her to move forward. Basically, don't depend on your label. Do what you're supposed to do. So, off-camera conversation could have been the nice approach, but at the end of the day, nah. We got to have our stuff together as a crew, as a label, for me to get the proper look that I need. That's just me personally. And I think more so for me, I'm speaking as an artist.
But if you sign to a major and they drop the ball, what are you supposed to do after that? Because that's a major, you with a major label. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. So you go to the person, whoever your A&R or whoever your project manager is, because your project manager delegates to people on who to get to the radio station. You
but if
got
they already been doing that for real, and it's just a new artist and it's just another cog in the machine, it just be, oh, the same process you done did for the last artist you do now. All of a sudden you drop the ball, and
to.
already it's already paid for, so it don't even matter. So it's like there's nothing you could do about it, because that session and that time frame and that slot that you have for to be on the radio station was already in your budget and it was already paid for. So it's like it's still a loss. So it's like at the end of the day, what are you supposed to do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It hurts her. It don't necessarily hurt
Exactly.
the label.
So it looks
Right.
like a ploy for you to be to get shelved. So what would be the point of being on a major label? If they're going to do that to her, they could do that to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks bad on the labels aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, okay, you don't give, it looks like you don't care about her. So what if the next artist that's trying to strive to be, you know what I'm saying, to showcase their music is looking this situation like, well, what's the point of me going to a label then? If they already got paid for this, they still fucking me over. So what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
You might as well just do it yourself.
But see, and we had this conversation before. All artists can't do it themselves. But the spin is that because you signed to a major, it makes it seem like you could do it yourself. When financially they can't. They don't have the money to record, to put themselves in the studio on a consistent basis, to work with the producers they feel they need to work with, to have the writing team, writing staff that they feel that they need to have for them to do the music at a pace where they're actually recording and actually releasing music, and then have the budget to go on radio, and then have the budget to go on different podcasts and red carpets, and not to mention the connection once you get into the industry. They don't have all that. So once they get cut off from all that, it's a wrap. That's why most artists do what they do. So, and it's a part of the spin. If you're a part of an entity that just seems greater and bigger, then you're successful. People want to seem successful instead of being successful. So you made some great points, bro. You gotta look like man, popular host. Okay, shout out to JD. Uh, good try. We love the jokes, bro. We love the jokes, but that was kind of trash. But you know, keep them coming. Pause. Uh, get out that contract. Yeah, a lot of once artists get into these contracts, it's very hard for them to get out of it because it's ironclad. It's ironclad. They sign multiple albums. So once you sign multiple albums and they give you that upfront money, because you know people got to get that upfront money, it's locked and loaded once you accept the upfront. It's locked and loaded. You took the upfront money, it's over. You in that contract. You in that contract until you release that music. That's why people thought Tupac, damn, Master P, all these artists was crazy because they was releasing two album two albums at one time back in the 90s. And people like, yo, why they giving us so many songs, yo? Like, this is wild. And they would give people double albums. And these double albums was considered two separate albums. They was doing that to get out the contract faster to re-up for a better contract. That's what they was doing. That's why when Tupac, you like, damn, it seemed like Tupac been dead and he got mad albums that we ain't never heard of because he was recording so relentlessly. He was trying to get out the contract. Same thing with Master P. Master P was a little different. He was releasing double music because he realized the more music that he released, the more money that he made. It was all about the content. So I'm telling you, man, this shit is on a whole nother level in the music business. So, but yeah, I see what you're saying. As far as he could have pulled her to the side, but because she don't have no control of that in particular, but she can say something to somebody in her project manager in particular, like, yo, we gotta be prepared if y'all care about my music. But like you said, they probably don't even care. So it's just another cog in the machine. All right, moving on to our next popular opinion. Uh Several members of the Florida A&M University track team. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they was the track team. Several members of the Florida A&M University track team was left behind at the hotel facilities for being 5 minutes late. What do you think about that?
with the, when they were on their way to a track meet and they missed the bus on their way to the track meet, or they was on the way home from the track meet.
A shout out to Dope Boy in the building, one of our badge holders. So they was on their way to the track meet. So you know how the team.
You got the hotel and all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Hmm.
And the next day they supposed to, get up to catch the bus. And they say they was 5 minutes late. And they missed the bus. And the team left them. What do you think about that?
Again, it's a double-edged sword because it's like, on one hand, you're supposed to be at this certain time, and you wasn't there, and the bus left because they're probably on a time constraint too. But then
Mhm.
on the other hand, it's like, okay, you have how many players was missing?
From the video that they made, it looked like it was about 4 or 5.
Okay, so that's still a good portion of players. I don't know if there was enough proper head count. Again, it's both ways. It's like, yeah, there's no proper head count and one final count to make sure everybody's there. But then on the same time, y'all was late if that's the story, because it could be spin as well too. You know what I'm saying? So who knows what the actual um situation really is. So that's why I'm like saying it's a double-edged sword, because it's like they could easily say it was spin and they was standing there. Could have been some arguments like, nah, we leaving y'all, and they bounce. You know what I'm saying? And they just
Mhm.
saying, oh, they was 5 minutes late. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's a gray area. But again, if you're supposed to be on time, you're supposed to be on time.
So I don't have no empathy for them at all. And maybe because I grew up playing football, basketball, box. Anytime you with a team and you're chartering, especially I'm maybe because of the football aspect of it, you're in college, bro. When we play college football, if we was 5 minutes late for the bus and we're already where we need to be at, but we got a game, and Coach Dow says, "Yo, bus leave at 11:45." We know not to come at 11:45. We know to be there no later than 11:30. If the bus leave at 11:45 and you say you came at 11:50, what are we talking about? That's completely on you. You're a little adult. You have to be old enough and grown enough to handle your business. And being an athlete and a collegiate level, you got to handle your business. At the same time, I can understand it's like, okay, you left them stranded, but did you really leave them stranded for real when you told them they had to be on this bus? Did you really leave them stranded, or did they leave themselves stranded for not taking care of their business? What do the coaches used to tell us all the time? Don't play video games. Get some sleep. Don't be up all night playing around. Get some sleep because we got to be up early in the morning to catch this bus to head over to the facility to get warmed up and ready for the game. So I really have no compassion for these women that missed their bus that was 5 minutes late. Like let's be real. If they was 5 minutes late, the bus would have still been there for real. Like let's be real. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure they have a policy like how the one that I just laid out. If the bus leave at 9 in the morning, you know not to be there at 9 at the bus at 9. You know to be at the bus at least at 8:45. This ain't the Greyhound. This ain't the Chinese bus. This ain't none of these. But like this is your game. This is your meet. This is where you need to go to perform. So you got to make sure that you're there early and prepared. So me personally, I don't have no sympathy for these girls. They learned a hard lesson in life. Life goes on without you. I learned that in college football. If you get hurt, guess what? Life goes on without you. The very first thing that I heard another player say, because I played running back, there was 8 running backs at practice the first day of spring ball. He said, "Damn, it's a lot of running backs. I don't understand this. I went all state. I went all county." I looked at him and said, "Bro, we all did. We ain't nothing special at this point, bro. We all was great in high school. This is a different ball game." And he quit. He went to another. He got up out of there. He wasn't used to all that. So that goes to show that again, real life will hit you in the head and knock you on your ass. So this was a tool for them to learn from and move forward from. So anything you want to add to that?
No.
Shout out to Brazil in the building. We got Brazil in the building. We got Colombia in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them 100s in the chat. Hit them likes, hit them 100s in the chats. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. So I don't. Okay. A disturbing video live on Facebook. A woman, a lifeless body, laying there on the floor, covered in blood. Her boyfriend was recording, saying that she was cheating, and he came home because he caught her cheating and caught her giving fellatio to another man in the home. What do you think? He later got arrested. Like he knew he was getting arrested. He heard the police coming, but he made the video, and the video went viral before he even got arrested. What do you think about this situation?
Wait, so what happened with the girl? She
So the video, she's lifeless, right? In the video, like she's just on the floor, covered in blood, and he's walking around her, filming himself, saying why, he was pissed off. He like, yo, F love, I'm tired of being hurt. She cheating on me. I got her on tape. I come home. Well, he didn't say I got her on tape. I caught her cheating, giving head to another guy in our home. Yeah, and this is what he's saying, walking around as she's just lifeless on the floor.
so his response was to essentially take her life and then take his life, and everybody who's associated with them, their family members, is all going to be distraught because you let somebody trick yourself out of position. Like you
No,
got emotional about a
he's not.
situation, huh?
He's not dead.
No, I say he's dead because he's gonna go to jail.
Okay,
You know,
okay, I see what you're
so
saying.
he's gone, she's gone, and he's gone because you got emotional about a situation and got yourself tricked out of position.
Hmm.
Like that's insane to me. Like you're not getting no sympathy for that. You know what I'm saying? So that's no excuse at the end of the day. So that's full scale throw the book at you. I
Hmm.
don't care. You know what I'm saying? You could have definitely walked away. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. Yeah, this, that, and the third. But was that the better option?
Hmm.
How was that the better option?
Hmm.
Walking away is the better option. Yes, it was tough, but it's the smarter option. It's a smarter play.
Hmm.
Build yourself back up. Now you a goof. Now you in jail.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's gone, her family's distraught. Yes, the situation is terrible. I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of signs that you ignored before y'all even got together, and you ignored them, and that's on you. So you got to take accountability for that. Now you're gonna be sitting in jail for the rest of your life, wondering like, damn, I should have never. You know what I'm saying? You've seen all the red flags and you ignored all of them. I don't have no sympathy for that. So throw
Hmm.
the book at them.
Hmm. Shout out to Billy in the building. You old Marcus Houston looking. That was all right. I don't look nothing old over here. So get your joke together. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the joke, but old? Yeah, nah, don't do that. This dude is crazy, man. What they get him at? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but I agree with you. For a dude to be tricked out his spot in a sense of taking her life, I don't think people understand. Like you could, I understand the emotion of being hurt by somebody that you love. Like when you feel like a woman like love you, and if you went through that, or realized that your girlfriend was cheating, that would hurt. But I don't think people understand the power of walking away and showing the person who either intentionally hurt you or unintentionally hurt you that you're unbothered. Oh, it takes all the power away in a different type of way. Where you like, oh, word, you on that type of time? Heard you. It's cool. You disrespected the hell out of me by doing it in our household where we lay our head. Cool. You know what? They have this thing, right, called beds. I could buy a new one and burn this one. Much cheaper than jail. I could get another place. So it don't remind me of the BS when I come home. Much cheaper than jail. And to show somebody that you unbothered from their bullshit is a whole nother power that people don't even understand. Like for me personally, I don't want to necessarily put my business out there, but anytime I feel like somebody's playing with me, I get real silent. I get real silent because they don't understand my level of petty. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a Cancer, y'all. I'm guilty as charged, right? So I have a level of petty and a level of just I'm already an aggressive person, but I have a level of petty I could show you better than I could tell you. But in that regard, I'm not letting no woman put me in jail by me reacting in a way that will put me into jail. Oh, word, you giving son Diddy bot? Oh, all right, cool. No doubt. I won't even say another word to her. I'm packing my shit and leaving. Gonna give me a better spot. I'll find a chick. I might come down to your job and smash a chick on your job just to piss you off. Chill, y'all. That's my level of petty. But y'all get what I'm saying. It's better than jail. You got to show people that you can do better without them when they hurt you on that type of level. And the process that he went through, like you say, he's gonna be in jail for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Any,
a terrible situation.
anything you want to add to that?
Just terrible situation, just for the families that's involved in it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. I like what they're saying in the chat, man. Holding your composure in of the matters of the heart is it's on a whole nother level. If you're able to do that, manage your expectations and manage your reaction, head and shoulders in the game. Head and
Even the
shoulders.
red
You kind of froze a little bit. Your bro kind of froze for a quick second.
sure that you um make sure
Your bro froze again.
as to what's next. You know what I'm saying?
Say that again because you had froze that whole time.
We just move on to the next topic.
You like, yo, I was cooking. I was cooking. Yeah, man. Like at the end
One
of
cook one time. After that, I just be like, all right, next topic.
well, at the end of the day, like they saying in the chat, man, first go out to her family. And it's crazy for him to crash out the way that he did because again, he's gonna spend the rest of his life in jail, and it's not worth it. Easily could have replaced her. Easily could have found. You know what I'm saying? Just moved on without her, bro. You know what I'm saying? And as men, it's a factor and a bonus to learn how to do it as soon as possible because now you can find the right woman that you really need to have in your circle. So she did
And
she
if,
she did you a favor. He just he didn't finish that off the right way.
I'm just saying, if it's a man's world, let it be a man's world. Move as a man. Something like that happened. It's like, all right, cool. Pack my stuff and move on. You gotta get back to the strong silent type. Like this showing the emotion on live. This is not the way. Like, nah. You want to show emotion, you go in the corner by yourself in a dark room, and that's when you show emotion. Other than that, when you outside in the world, you don't show that shit because they don't care. So what's the point of showing it? It's no point. You're not going to get sympathy. So what is the point of showing it? It
Hmm.
makes no sense. You're tricking yourself out of position because now you showcasing how another person can manipulate and use you. Oh, this nigga emotional over this. All right, now I got something over his head. Because you
Hmm.
don't showcase nothing, nobody got nothing over you. So
Hmm.
you gotta get back to that movement.
That's a fact. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. I don't know if you heard, but there was a Shador Sanders prank that went viral. Jeff Urbrecht, defensive Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator coach. His son was able to obtain Shador Sanders' phone number and call him for the draft pick and prank him. So basically, he called them saying that he was the Steelers. He was like, "Yeah, we're gonna take you with the next pick. I know there's been a long wait, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer." And hung up the phone. Come to find out, obviously that was a prank call. But what made it even worse is that Shador Sanders ended up getting a brand new phone right before the draft, so nobody had this number but the teams. So nobody else had this number. So the defensive coordinator from the Atlanta Falcons, his son was able to obtain the records of the players, get Shador Sanders' number, and do this prank. And they filmed themselves doing this prank. What do you think about that?
I mean, it makes sense. Like, of course, it would be somebody in within the organization to make that prank happen. That's why.
Yo, yo. Yeah, bro froze up again. He froze up again.
Yeah, I was saying, why would that person leak the number
Hmm.
and it being very so close to? And it's just it's unfortunate. It was a very slimy move, might I add. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it was very slimy and classless. And it's so interesting that the person who's affected the most out of all this, they want him to show the most grace, meaning Shador Sanders. And Shador Sanders is ready to move on from the situation. But the question is now is, do the defensive coordinator get reprimanded or do the son get reprimanded?
The question is, are they even going to do an investigation on this? You know what I'm saying?
They did, and this is what they found out because the prank went viral. So once the prank went viral, it's like, whoa, whoa, how are they able to get the damn records? You see what I'm saying? That's why Shador Sanders say, yo, only the teams had my new number. It was I just got this phone literally a day ago. So there's no way that my number could just be out and about for a prank call.
All right, so it's up to the league to do something. Are they going to do something? That's here. That's up to them to decide on that. But
Hmm.
do I see them actually really doing something? I don't know.
I think they should, in my opinion. I really think that they should because you like this is so many multi layers where they play in this kid face. They cost this kid millions of dollars, and now y'all want him to be cool about playing with his dream. And this is based on y'all behalf. And you let somebody who is supposed to be a professional, you let his records get obtained by your children and your child. So that automatic removal off the top. I don't care who you are. You're supposed to be a professional. How are you a professional and your children is able to obtain your records and use it for their record, like their recreation? How? If you a top tier businessman and your kids obtain the records of another billionaire and they calling and playing on his phone when his time is literally money. So when that billionaire realized, like, oh, your kids was playing around with my number because they got it because you left it laying around or whatever, or however you have it stored or whatever the case may be, it's not effective. So therefore, I can't trust you, bro. We can't do business. You can't even keep your house situated, let alone my damn phone number for business. So, in my opinion, he needs to be removed. His son played a bad prank, and his son is in college. This is not no little boy. The son that played this prank is in college.
Hmm. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like it's their sandbox. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's their sandbox. Yeah, they made up the rules, and then sometimes they don't even abide by their own rules. But guess what? It's still their sandbox, and you're playing in their sandbox. It's terrible. It's the worst position to be in. But the way to win is is to boss up on that field. They put you in the worst position and just boss up. Because at the end of the day, you're playing in their sandbox. They could have easily said, "Hey, we're going to do this investigation. This is not right. We're going to have a whole a press conference." This they could have did all that. Maybe they could do it in the next couple of days, maybe. But I feel as though if you wanted to do right by Shador, you would have did it right. You know what I'm saying? Right away. But again, you're playing in their sandbox. So at the end of the day, it's like, how can we be mad if we're playing in their sandbox?
Yeah, I definitely hear you, bro. It's just I, I they the right thing to do is to remove that coach because again, if you can't keep your contacts from your children, like You can't keep a playbook from nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't keep contacts, playbook. Like your whole situation is shit, bro.
That's a
It's shit.
fact. It's definitely a fact.
So gotta go. Moving on. On Shador as well. Because he was drafted at pick 144 instead of the top three pick like he was projected to. He was projected to make $45 million within his first contract, but now he's only going to make $4 million within his first 3-4 year contract. Um, what do you think about that? That because of that, he's only going to make the 4 million.
Again, it's just a play to make it seem like it's about the money. He already had money before even coming into the league. It's not about the money. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the money. It's about being a great quarterback for him based on his skill. You know what I'm saying? They had money already.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? He got bread already from an NIL deals, and before that, his father is Sanders. You don't think he made good moves and good money plays over the years to stress his longevity of his NFL money? Not saying that that's going to his sons, but to make sure they're in a better position so they can strive and reap the benefits of what his father has done. Now you at this position, you've made your money. You going into the league. It's not about the money because that's what was the whole braggadocious energy that they were trying to say that he had. He wasn't gonna placate to y'all game because it's not about the bread. I don't really need y'all check. I want to be a great quarterback. That's what I want to be. But because they're dangling the check in front of him and he not baiting for it, they're mad because they're used to you doing it on their sandbox because that's what they're used to. But now they get somebody that's not playing their game, it's a problem. So that's why they have to project and say these things. Oh, he's only going to make 4 million, this, that, and third. Okay, what if he's only making 4 million? That's right now. You know what I'm saying? That's not projecting that he ain't gonna make 100 million in 2-3 years. So all you did was that's all he wanted to do is get his foot in the door. Now he's in the dance. Guess what? He about to bust a two-step and you ain't ready for it. So that's all it is. You in the sandbox now. Now you about to play his dance move. You know what I'm saying? And it just that's how I feel his mindset is really gonna play this game. Like you already at a supposed low tier because they orchestrated that. So fine, like I'm gonna take these pieces, I'm gonna still make a gourmet meal out of it.
Yeah, I definitely hear what you're saying, bro. I mean, at the end of the day, his whole motivation is to be a great quarterback. That's the whole Sanders brand. And what I mean by that is his father was prime time, so he was the corner. His son is legendary. He's the quarterback. So their brand is built off of greatness. Even though he comes from money, not getting paid what you're worth, it matters. And even though he's going to be able to re-up if he balls out, after this first contract negotiations, which is the next 3-4 years, he'll be able to, if he plays well, he'll be able to get his money up. But this is 45 million dollars that he won't get back. He lost 45 million. There's no way of getting that back. Period. Point blank. So these people played with his money, and that's the point that I want people to understand that because he's not motivated off a check, they like, yo, we're gonna show you something. And everybody's seen it. Everybody know what it is, right? And because he's in his position, he like, yo, I don't care about that check. So you're gonna play under your value like you've been doing and playing on their terms like they want you to. The only way he can switch this up is ball the hell out, which I hope he do. I want Shador Sanders to set the NFL on fire. I mean, give these dudes vengeance, and he's in the perfect division to give these dudes vengeance. Because if he gives them vengeance at Cleveland and they playing against Baltimore, Cincinnati, like, come on, they playing. Who else is in it? It's Baltimore, Cincinnati's them, and it's I'm forgetting the other team. Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. That's a hard division to play in. That's Lamar Jackson. That's Joe Burrow. and that might be Aaron Rodgers over there. Who knows what Pittsburgh going to do with their quarterback position? Right now is Rudolph over there. But at the end of the day, I hope he gives them vengeance. But this is $45 million that you let somebody dictate your bread. And at the end of the day, what's crazy about all these analysts, they were like, "Oh, he had to be humble. There's nothing wrong with teaching your kids to be humble." What? Do y'all know the definition of humble? Like, I gotta make you feel comfortable about my personality when I'm already talented. My personality and my talent should not offend you because my talent and personality is for the betterment of my team. And what people don't realize, they call him selfish, selfish, selfish. He had a crazy NIL deal. He was making like $5.8 million in NIL money. But y'all don't know, he paid into the NIL. He didn't take from the NIL. He already had another endorsement outside of the NIL that he was able to cake off of. His pops is super caked up. So what that means is that $5.8 million evaluation wasn't even touched. He took his endorsement money and paid back into the NIL, which helped them able to get other top tier recruits, such as a Kamani McLean, such as a Jordan Seaton. Even though Kamani McLean is not there, but that has nothing to do with Shador. That's a whole nother situation in itself. The fact that they was able to sign top players year after year after year. Another reason also they was able to sign Travis Hunter. And Travis Hunter was another player that also, because he got his endorsements, paid into the NIL so that way they could get other players over there. Because the money was super important to them. So you talk about selfish and him being humble. It's like, give me a break. But there's a such thing as working for what you earn and maximizing on it and building from there. I'm just tired of us as a whole that we work for what we earn to only get knocked down and then to start all over again when we should always have to start at zero. Even though we have the talent to, but we so programmed that I could build it again. And that's cool. We should always feel like we could build it again. But sometimes we should not have to. But we have to understand, being that we're playing the game that's not ours, we may do that from time to time. But it's just crazy that we're so far into this league as far as melanated players that we don't have a system that's better suited that people don't play in our face. That this system don't play in our face. That's why I'm glad as a whole and as a culture, we're calling them out. It's like, yo, we see y'all. Then you got other analysts that are like, well, if he was that talented, that he would have went da 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 da. That's bullshit. Any player that's super talented is still always going to get drafted, but they're not always going to go top pick because of red flags. Name me how many times Shador Sanders was arrested. Name me how many times he got in trouble. Name me how many times he had some off the field situation with a woman. The most that this dude do is record albums. I'm cool with that. Oh, you don't like going to the club? You like recording? Cool, cool. You need a little relief from the playbook? Cool. Go bust out a song. I don't got to worry about you at the club popping bottles. What are we talking about? So this $45 million he's not going to get again, but in 4 years he'll be able to hit him over the head if he balls out. But it's just crazy that if he would have stayed in college that extra year, but he still would have went through the same situation next year, regardless when he would have came out. You know what I'm saying? Because people are saying that he should have went back a whole nother year so that way he could, get another $5.8 million from the NIL deal situation instead of having to deal with this or whatever the case may be. But again, they did it to show this young man a lesson, not just him, but also his father. So it's bigger than rap, y'all. It's bigger than rap. Anything you want to add to that?
Again, it's their sandbox. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff you mentioned about his character, they already know this and they don't care. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they know about his character. They know all the stuff he put in with the NIL. They know this already and they don't care. So at the end of the day, it's still their sandbox. So you're gonna play by their rules, point blank, period.
Mm-hmm. Facts. I agree. I agree. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Trump administration has announced that the Department of Education will soon collect from 5.3 million borrowers uh, of the student loans that they're going to be collecting back from. What do you think about that?
I'm just hoping that they allow people to have higher paying wages. That's the reason why they defaulted on paying the student loans in the first place. They didn't have enough money to pay it
Hmm.
and take care of their bills and, you know what I'm saying, feed themselves and clothe themselves. So if it's a situation where like there's more job opportunity, where it's a higher pay wage, where you can take care of everything, I'm pretty sure every person that got student loans wants to pay back their student loans. You don't want to not pay it off. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
if you don't have no bread to pay it off, it's like, are you gonna pay this student loon, or are you gonna pay this bill that you need to pay? So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you put in a person in that predicament, it's like what other situation you think they're gonna choose?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pay that bill because they need the lights on now, today.
Hmm.
That student loan, you could wait on it. You know what I'm saying? If they're put in that situation. So it's like if they put in a better situation where they can take care of their bills, more than gladly they'll take care of their student loans. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, this situation in itself is going to be it's going to be telling. I mean, 5.3 borrowers, they're going to get some money. They're going to get some money because it's tax time. So, they're going to get some money. Will they get all of it? Absolutely not. It's going to be a process of that. And will it help stabilize the economy? I mean, at the end of the day, if people are able to make more money, but the cost of living still has to continue to go down. We're at a boiling point where most people can't live at this level as far as the cost of living. Your groceries, the amount of groceries that used to be that you was able to get for $89, now you have to spend $160 to get that same $89 worth of groceries that you used to get prior to. So what are we really talking about? Is it the more money or is it the cost of living? And if you're going to pay people more money, that's even beautiful. But the cost of living still has to either it can't even be maintained where it's at right now. It has to get less than what it was before, by less than what it is now. So I mean, when I went to California, their gas was like damn near $8. It's like how do like real talk, $8 a gallon. It's like, come on, G. Like what like everywhere you go has to be a money move for you to pay $8 a gallon for your gas. That's wild. In Florida, we pay what, like three something a gallon for the gas? And that's damn near like $60, $65 to fill your tank. I can't even imagine what that comes out to in California to fill your tank up on a regular ride, not even a truck. So the cost of living has to come back down because this is going to be it's unattainable. It's too many nice places that we have that you do have people that can pay it, and then you have people that can't. And they instead of them having a small spot, they basically living outside. So that's not no real flow of the economy when you basically kill a whole tier of people as far as the have and the have nots. You don't have people that could normally pay $600 for their rent for a one bedroom or studio apartment. Now they actually living outside or trying to rent a hotel room for $400 a week. Like that's crazy. So they said it in the chat. It's a monopoly. That's a fact. That is a fact. Anything you want to add to that?
I mean, if you have been building material and you have to wait for it to come from overseas, so everything's going to cost money. It's the point of now America has to start building again. We've been a nation of consumers. We're buying from other people instead of building and creating our stuff ourselves, so that way it could be cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It'll be cheap for us because we're buying it from each other. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gonna hit somebody over the head for a piece of material or an item because it was made here. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
The
right.
items that you got to make that material was made here. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be less money that you had to put out to make the product, so you're not going to charge the customer a lot of money. So now the customer has money to buy your product, and then it continues on from there. But if we don't have factories building and making shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we gotta wait for China. Fuck
Right.
out of here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Let's build this shit here.
Hmm.
So we need more people that can build and create with their hands. There's a shortage of.
Yeah, bro, cut off. You cut off. Give him a second to tap back in. Yeah, you
Yeah.
said shortage of plumbers. That's what we was left off at.
Yeah, so it's a shortage of people that work with their hands. So if you can create that, that's what you need to start
Yeah, it did it again. Slowed up again. Um, yeah, it slowed up again. It slowed up again. Once my brother cook, he cooked. You know what I'm saying? They laughing at the chat. Oh man. Yo, shout out.
Yo.
I'm not a bot. Appreciate you tapping in, man. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. Correction for last episode announcement about Ryan Coogler. For the new movie Sinners. I had made mention that Ryan Coogler had a deal with Disney that he was going to recoup full benefits after 25 years, which was correct. The only aspect that I did not add because I didn't know that this was a part of the deal. He will receive a cut of the gross tickets of the total tickets of the movie before Disney, before Warner recoups any cost of the $90 million budget that they put for the movie. So they already made $161 million at box office. So that $90 million budget they recoup and then some. So he's going to receive a cut from the gross ticket sales before they take their bread. So correction on that. I wanted to make sure that that was added. What do you think about that?
Just want to know how much did he use of the 90 million to make the movies? Because that would make a lot of sense of him recouping, because you still got to pay that money back. But if you didn't use all that 90, then you know what I'm saying, you don't have to dip in the ticket sale bread as much. So I would like to know how much it costs to actually make that movie, because it was in Mississippi and they don't have a lot of stringent taxes as far as like making movies down there. So I'm pretty sure it was a tax break by doing the movie
It,
there. So I'd like to know.
it's one of the cheapest places to make a movie.
So I want to know how much it actually costs to make the movie. I'm pretty sure he didn't have to use the whole 90, because we ain't gonna use the whole bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever we gonna do, we gonna cut corners, but it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be good, but we ain't gonna use the whole. There ain't no way. He from the hood. I know he ain't used that whole 90.
Like,
That's
yo,
a
we can get
fact.
this in, baby.
Let
Like,
me get that whole 90. I'm gonna only need 30, but I'm gonna tell him I need 90. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
He looked like he's very methodical and just very on point with that. Like, yo, I need 90, but it
Hmm.
really only costs 25 to make. So
Hmm.
he probably giving them back their own bread. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Well, if you see movies being made in Mississippi, Ohio, and Alabama, those are some of the cheapest places you can make movies because of how cheap those areas are. And Kansas. Oh my God, Kansas! You could go make a crazy movie in Kansas because on how some of the taxes may lay, and and how cheap the cost would be in those areas. So I just wanted to correct that story from last episode. All right, moving on to our next segment. This segment is brought to you by Bravo Section. Make sure you go to bigbravosection.com. Again, bigbravosection.com to buy dope photography and to buy a session from one of the best photographers in the world, especially if you're in the Miami area. If you're not, you can still book that session. They'll come out and take care of your session, but it starts at bigbravossection.com. You have a petty thought for us, petty words, petty law.
On the Black's Law Dictionary. So first word on the list is suffrage. Word definition means a vote, the act of voting, the right or privilege of casting a vote at public elections. The last is the meaning of the term in such phrases as the right of suffrage is the right of a man to vote for whom he pleases. All right, so next word on the list is Hobbs Act. So Hobbs Act is a federal anti-racketeering act making it a crime to interfere with interstate commerce by extortion, robbery, or physical violence. So this act was what started people to have driver's license, because before then you never needed a driver's license. So around the Prohibition era, when these people are running and going from state to state lines, it was very hard for police to catch them because once they got to another state, Indiana state police couldn't go into like Wisconsin. So the feds came up with a way where they basically intertwine all the highways, and now the federal jurisdiction now transverses and it goes onto the highways as well. So
So,
that's what
so you're saying they ran dolos from state to state?
you could run dolo from state to state before and be good, but now that they locked it down, it's gonna be hard. You know what I'm saying? But you can
Uh-huh.
still do it though.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how they. If you watch the movie Public Enemies, it's another movie showcasing during the Prohibition era, gangsters robbing banks, and then they getting away from the police. And this is the start of Hoover and the FBI. And
Mhm.
this is one of the schemes that they created to now take to circumvent state police and now be the state police for every state.
Mhm.
All right, so next word is historical cost. So in accounting is an acquisition or original cost or original construction cost of building. So for any type of building project, you need to understand the cost of building anything. So having the numerical value, the construction cost of building, now you can understand how much it will cost to build this three-story home, this 15-story building, this church, or this community center. All right. So last on the word is ecclesiastical law. So ecclesiastical law is a body of jurisprudence administered by ecclesiastical courts of England, derived in large measure from canon and civil law. As now, as now restricted, it appeals mainly to affairs and doctrine, disciplines, and worship of the established church. So at a certain point in time, church law was basically that came every law that comes that we have on the books is all derived from England, and that is derived from Roman law, which is civil law, and they had canon law, which is ecclesiastical law, which is church law. So this ecclesiastical law right here was a way to establish what we know now is separation of church and state. But before that, it was always together. So if you have to also understand when church and state was together, when they talk about the Inquisition and the expedition of the Americas, this was all done by church. This was not by, oh, because he's white and I'm black. No, it was all church. They were Christian, you were pagan, and that's all it was. So they needed the papal bull, which is a decree from the Pope to come over here and to rape, pillage, and murder in the Americas. But it had to be law first. So ecclesiastical law is where they started from that. So the words for this week were suffrage, Hobbs Act, historical cost, and ecclesiastical law.
Fire, fire, y'all. Send my bro some words to look up for next episode. Be serious with your words. He's looking up the Black's Law Dictionary, words that we use every day that have double meanings. So words that we need to know. So and use them properly. And yo, you know better, you do better. Fire words, bro. Fire words. Again, shout out to Dope Boy in the building, man. Appreciate you tapping in. Isaiah, appreciate you tapping in as well. Some bad shoulders. Shout out to Do Good in the building. Appreciate you tapping in. Hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them 100s in the chat. It helps us grow the show. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment. I keep the lie alive segment.
Keep the lie alive.
Keep the lie alive. So my keep the lie alive for this episode is there a such thing as too competitive? And growing up in Brooklyn, growing up the block that I grew up on, Lenox Road between Notion and Rogers, and I also grew up on 45th between Troy and Church Ave. Those two areas, we all, was outside with negative activity. We all played sports. And but in all the things that we did, we was ultra competitive in everything, especially in sports. It was so competitive that the area that we grew up in, as we got older, that's all it was about, was competing. We never learned enough to root for each other until like really later on. Like I had to change my whole mindset of saying that just because I'm competitive, that don't mean I can't root for somebody that's striving to be great, whether it's in the same field as me or whether it's in a different field. Because regardless on their blessing, it's their blessing. I don't I won't lose a blessing for supporting somebody striving for the same thing as me or anything else outside of that. So I had to change my mindset. But New York is the type of place where that if we actually learn how to, I don't want to say work together, but we don't support each other in a way that you see other places working with each other. Like in Florida, Florida's different in everything: sports, music, entertainment. There's a support system that's just really real support. So when somebody is really striving, the whole community rally around that particular person. And it could be multifaceted no matter what they do. They could run a business, they could do sports, they could do entertainment, whatever that they do, the community is going to rally around them. In a place like New York City, is built off competition. It's built off being better. It's built in everything, whether it's clothes, whether it's fighting, whether it's entertainment, whether it's business, no matter what it is, everything is built off competition. But there's so much competition that we don't support each other. And that just has a mindset into a much bigger discussion where this is part of the reason why we don't have our own place to do business and to do things that has a real power structure that would benefit our communities. Like every other community has a place that they can go where they can build off of business, build off outside entities and interests. But we're the only ones, because we're so competitive, we're so built on or focus on being better than this person and that person from our own communities that's striving for the same thing or adjacent or something that's not even the same. We don't support each other, keeping our dollars amongst each other, circulating that business amongst each other. We talked about how the fact that the US government, if we focus on building companies here that produce things that's much needed, will help bring the cost of living down because material would be less. If we had our own farms for real, produce would be less. And so forth and so forth and so on. So again, is there such thing as being too competitive? Yes, because competitiveness breeds a much stronger product. But at the same time, if we sacrifice the ability to support each other, then what are we really doing? Goes into the DEI situation where you have people say, "Well, we're going to not support Target for the day." That's not doing anything. If anything, that doesn't hurt Target because Target already made their money. What about the people who are melanated that look like me and you that has their business through Target? So you really hurt them. If you really want to support them, what's another outside way instead of going through Target that you could support them directly? If you're not going to support Target, you're going to support what? What other entity that's directly connected to your culture and your surroundings that you could support that can be built? So is there such thing as too competitive? Yes. But we have to learn how to be competitive, still shoot for the stars, and still build within our community. And that's the thing that we really need to focus on. But we focus on the wrong and the negative things. Like when I look on Instagram, I look on TikTok, I see brothers in different areas. If they're not from there, they get G checked. But you don't G check everybody. You just G check the person that looks like you because they the most obtainable and because they have the most what's the word I'm looking for? They have the most less consequences that you have to deal from checking somebody of your own ilk. So we have to learn how to support each other while being competitive and learn how to support each other doing the right things. What do you think about that, bro? Anything you want to add to that?
Just really having more tools that at our disposal to actually do those things. It's very hard to do those things and you got your hands tied behind your back, and your enemy is the one dangling the carrot in front of you. Even though like all they have to do is just give you opportunity, let you allow your foot in the door, but yet and still they closing the door in people's faces, and we have to still figure things out and make things happen. And that's the driving competitive forces. Like they know once they give us a piece of the pie, we won't really need them because of the competitive drive that we have in ourselves. And where we have the finances, we can just create all this stuff that we need and don't need nobody. And that's really the problem. That's really where they have the where they built the wall. It's not the fact that we created. We already been created. It's the fact that now we're in the system where we have to use a green piece of paper to make things happen. And they're the ones that's printing the green piece of paper. And now they're saying, oh, now you can only get this amount of green piece of paper per hour. You know what I'm saying? So they're the ones controlling all this stuff, and it's like, wait a minute, like how are you dictating how much value I'm bringing? Like you don't even see all the other stuff and attributes I have on the back end because you're not counting those. You don't see those as valuable, but they're valuable to me because it's my character. So it's like it's kind of hard, really. The competitive nature is always going to be there, but if the mere fact of it could be brotherly love, competitive nature, but because we're solely lacking and we're without, and they only elevate certain people, that's where the jealousy comes in. People can be competitive and it'd be friendly gestures like Buddy said, I got 1,000 for every bump on your face. You know what I'm saying? Like we betting on the Nick game, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let's bet 5,000. Yo, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Paperback games. You know what I'm saying? Fun competitiveness because everybody had what? Everybody had money. So it wasn't a problem. But now when you have to work for it and you have to and they're the ones controlling how much you're getting from it, now it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones dictating how this thing goes. And they not even in the mud for real. But they tell you how it goes, but you in the mud. Like, how you gonna tell me I'm clean, but my face is muddy? So it's very hard, but the competitive nature is always going to be there because that's that's already bred in our damn fibers. So that's you know what I'm saying, that's not going to go anywhere. But I feel about the lack of resources so we can be competitive. That's where the problem lies.
See, my thing is all mindset. It's all mindset. The system do a better job in tricking people with the age of spin. If we have the source to be creative, if we have the source to come up with ways to make money, then we could be just as creative and be better at learning how to keep the money within our own system. But every single time we make the money, we think spending the money outside of the system is cooler than spending money within the system. And it's not hard to do. You know somebody that has a great product that's from the community, within the community, you spend that money there instead of doing the convenient thing, the thing that you're used to. But because you, for real, you don't want to help somebody do better than you. You want somebody to do well, but you don't want them to do better than you. And that's the biggest problem that we have within the community is because the competitive nature trumps the support. We could become whatever we want to become within our community because it's there, because we're talented. And we're just as smart and we're just as capable for having a system that is beneficial to us, from us, and by us. So we have to do better with our mindset and the The programming food that they give us is so from a lot of people is yum yum good when it's something that they putting in our bodies that is killing us internally and outernally, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, and whether it's physical. It's on all different levels, and we need to do better as a whole. So there is a such thing as too competitive, but we have to be better at support. And supporting each other is enough. We just got to stop being lazy and convenient, saying, "Nah, you know what? I'm gonna go over here with it." When you know somebody does that product within home, within the society, within the community, you need to go support that. That's my keep the lie alive, y'all. Y'all been amazing. Y'all been amazing. Thank y'all for tuning in to another fire episode. Can the brothers get a rap? We're on every Sunday and every Thursday. I'm trying to get everything out because we literally have like 3 minutes in running time, like we always do, running out. But again, I want to thank y'all real quick. I want to thank the sponsors of the podcast, Bravo Section, Blunt and Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit me on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. Or you can hit my bro on his Instagram at, again, if you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, you can hit us up on Instagram. Also, we're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. We just got over 11,000 subscribers. So continue to like, subscribe, and share. Leave dope comments. We love a good joke, but continue to engage. We got over 350 rewatches of this podcast on this channel. So make sure y'all tap in and share and share and share. Hit them likes, hit them likes, hit them 100s, hit them 100s. Shout out for some of our no, all of our badge holders. Shout out to everybody tapping in, even if it's your first time. We appreciate your time, your energy, your love, and your engagement. It helps us grow the show. Again, hit them likes, hit them likes. Uh, have new music on the way, new album coming out called Loyalty. Sorry, called Winners Loyalty will be out May 26th on all platforms. In the between time, just type in Ashley Lovechild. I got fire music, fire music. So make sure y'all tap in. I know my brother got his website.
Tap into bigbravossection.com. Got merch on the way.
Merch. Also, make sure y'all tap into the merch within the links in the bio as well. Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast and OUV Records. We got literally like a minute left. Feel like I'm forgetting something. Nope. Again, I want to thank y'all. We're on every Thursday, every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. We do pop-ups as well, so you just never know when you see a brother face tap in. So make sure y'all tap in, hit that all notification bell as well. Santana, you already know, bro. You got the juice now, man. It's love. And we see y'all this Thursday at 10:30 p.m. We out.